turn for session 3, in which we are going to make alphabets which are with the help of curves, standing line and sleeping line. First letter is letter C. For letter C, please put a dot on the red line for the children. You have to make a curve like this, going from upwards to downwards direction. Letter C. C for cat. C for cow. It is, you can say it is a curve like this, from upwards to downwards like this. Let's try it. A curve from upwards to downwards. Let's try it one more time. A curve from upwards to downwards. Letter C. C for cat. C for cow. Next letter is letter O. Like we have made letter C, a curve we have made, and then one more curve continuing this old curve from downwards to upwards, means we have to complete one rotation like this. Letter O. O for owl. O for ox. Let's write it. Like we have made C, coming from upwards to downwards, a curve. And for letter O, we have to go from downwards to upwards, joining this on the top. Letter O. Let's try it one more time. One curve from upwards to downwards, then from downwards to upwards. Letter O. O for ox. O for owl. Next letter is letter Q. Q for queen. Q for quail. Like we have made letter O a big round, in this also letter Q we have to make a round like this, going from upwards to downwards, then downwards to upwards like this. And in this Q, we have to make a monkey tail like this. You can say a monkey tail we are making in letter Q. This is the difference between letter O and letter Q. Let's make it. First we have to make letter O, going from upwards to downwards, then downwards to upwards. We have made a round, or you can make a circle. Then in the middle of this letter O, we have to make a tail like this, a monkey tail like this. Let's try it one more time. A curve from upwards to downwards, then downwards to upwards. This is letter O. And for Q, we have to make a monkey tail in the between of this letter Q like this. Letter Q. Q for queen. Q for quail. Next letter is letter D. For letter D, we have to make a standing line from upwards to downwards direction like this. A simple standing line. I hope you can make it now. And a curve from upwards to downwards like this. You can say that this is a, you can say a ulta C is there like this. See? Like this, from upwards to downwards. A standing line and a curve like this. Let's try it. A standing line from upwards to downwards and a curve like this. Letter D. D for dog. D for doll. Let's try it one more time. Standing line from upwards to downwards and a curve from upwards to downwards. Letter D. Another letter is letter J. J for jug. In letter J, first you have to make a sleeping line like this on the top line, this top red line, like this, a simple sleeping line. And next step is, in the middle of the sleeping line, you have to make a standing line. And coming at the end, you have to make a curve like this. A sleeping line, a standing line like this, and continuing this standing line, we have to make a curve like this. But you don't have to touch this black line in letter J. Please keep in mind that for letter J, this curve should be up to here only, not touching this black line. Let's try it. A sleeping line on the top. Next we have to put the pencil in the center of the sleeping line and coming downwards with a standing line and going upwards like this, like a curve, but not touching this black line. Letter J. Let's try it one more time. A sleeping line, a standing line from upwards to downwards, and then a curve like this, but not touching this black line. Letter J. J for jug. J for jackal. Next alphabet is letter B. For letter B, we have to make a standing line, simple standing line from upwards to downwards direction, like this. और लेटर बी के लिए आपको दो कर्व्स बनाने हैं, एक ऐसे कर्व, नेक्स्ट लाइक दिस. आप कह सकते हैं कि उल्टा सी बना दिया हमने, एक और उल्टा सी बना दिया. बी, लेटर बी. लेट्स ट्राई इट. Standing line from upwards to downwards and one curve from red line to black line like this, and another curve from black line to black line like this. Letter B. Children, you have to make all the letters in these lines only. You don't have to go out of these lines. If you will go in between these lines, then you will be having a good handwriting. So please keep this in mind. Let's try letter B one more time. A standing line from upwards to downwards. Then a curve from red line to black line. Then another curve from black line to black line. Letter B. B for boy. B for ball. Next letter is letter G. G for girl. G for goat. So for letter G, see, we have made a curve like this. Like we have made letter C, right? But in C, we have stopped our curve till here, till the black line. Only little upwards to the black line. But for letter G, you have to make a curve from red line to black line, going upwards to this black line, right? And then in the second step, we have to make a sleeping line, and then in the third step, we have to make a standing line. Letter G. Let's try it. We have to go from upwards to downwards like this, but we have to go till this black line like this. And after this, we have to make a sleeping line, then a standing line. Letter G. Let's try it one more time. A curve from upwards to downwards and going till this black line. Then a sleeping line here and a standing line here. Right, children? Letter G. G for girl. G for goat. Our next alphabet is alphabet S. S for snake. S for snail. Let's try it. When we see this letter S, what we find? We find two curves. One in this direction and other continuing in this direction. You can say we have to make a snake like this. From upwards to downwards, then downwards to upwards like this. It's a shape of a snake. Let's try it. For letter S, we have to go with the curve like this from pink line to black line, and then we have to twist and go like this. Another curve. Letter S. S for snake. And this is a shape of a snake only. See? Let's try it one more time. We have to go from upwards to downwards and then continuing it to this line. Letter S. S for snake. S for snail. Next letter is letter U. U for umbrella. U for urn. See children, after making all these alphabets, the typical alphabets, this alphabet U is very simple. We have to make a curve like this, from going from upwards to downwards with a curve and continuing it from downwards to upwards direction in one way like this. So let's try it. A curve from upwards to downwards, then we have to do a curve and going from downwards to upwards. Letter U. Let's try it one more time. Curve from upward to downwards, then turn it and continue making it from downwards to upwards. Letter U. U for umbrella. U for urn. Our next alphabet is alphabet P. For letter P, we have to make a standing line from upwards to downwards like this. And then a curve, or you can say this shape U. You can say a C, an opposite C like this in this direction. Letter P. P for parrot. P for peacock. Let's try it. A standing line from upwards to downwards. Then a curve from upward pink line to the black line. Letter P. Let's try it one more time. A standing line from upwards to downwards. Then a curve from pink line to the black line like this. Letter P. P for parrot. P for peacock. Our next alphabet is letter R. Like we have made letter P with the help of standing line and a curve like this. In letter R, we have to make first, like we have to make P first, then a slant line like this. Let's start writing. A standing line from upwards to downwards, then a curve from pink line to black line like this, and a slant line from black line to black line. See? Letter R. R for rabbit. R for rose. Let's try it one more time. A standing line from upwards to downwards. Then a curve from pink line to black line. And a slant line from black line to black line. Letter R. R for rabbit. R for rose. I hope you all have understood the letter R. So these alphabets we have made with the help of curves, standing line, sleeping line and slant line were letter C, letter O, letter Q, letter D, letter S, letter U, letter P, letter J, letter B, letter G, and lastly letter R. I hope you all have understood the letters that we have made with the help of standing line, sleeping line and curves.